All right, let's make a quick fried rice, huh? Working with chicken today, so remember, always have a nice sanitizer rag to sanitize things down. It's about a medium onion. Easier to peel if you cut it in half first. I'm going to do like about a medium dice here. And again, I always keep my fingers out of the way like this. Takes some getting used to hang on, but it's not that hard. I got my pan back there heating up. Also, I'm working with that stove. Never put your pan over medium. You're doing the stir fry, you can bang it up a little bit. It's going to cut the tops off these green onions. We already have onions, so don't need a whole lot of flavor. Some onion. Ginger. Everybody says you gotta peel ginger and look at that. I'll just scrape the stuff off there. Depends on how big of a bite you like in it. You like to taste it. You can leave it in longer strips. You can chop it up real small. The smaller you chop it on the first pass, the less work you got to do afterwards. If you kind of just like run through it real fast, and you're gonna have chunks all over, chasing them all over the place. That's a good size right there, huh? What do you think? Was that about a tablespoon? Garlic. Same thing with garlic. You cut those little ends off. Give it just a little pop. We don't want to crush it too much till you get the paper out of there. Alright, garlic, you can chop it. You can kind of press it down like that and just mush the heck out of it. And then chop it. You can try to slice it. A little paper left. You put salt with it and mush it with salt, and the salt will break it down a little. Look at that. Okay, we got that, huh? Okay, let's crack a couple eggs in this bowl. Room temperature eggs are easier to work with. I had a fork. What I want to do, put a pinch of salt in those eggs. Pinch of pepper in there too. All right. Okay, I got about a cup of leftover rice from yesterday. It's always better to do fried rice with day-old rice. Why? Because it dries it out a little bit and it doesn't stick to your pan. Okay, get that out of the way. working with chicken. Look at these things, these are great. Fit over bowls and stuff. Alright, these are going to be chicken thighs today. You want to cut them in fairly small pieces for fried rice. See that? Keeping the fingers out of the way. Goes up against your knuckles. Now you got nice long strips you can work with. You're holding it, pushing it away, push it away, push it away. If you try to saw it, you're going to be chasing it all over the place. Pushing it away. Get some good pressure down in there to cut through it. You can't cut through a cutting board, so don't worry about cutting through your cutting board. Alright, same thing. These are the boneless thighs we did the other day. Trying to get off as much fat as you want. Thigh fat's really not that great tasting. No chicken fat's good tasting, but alright. Okay, not a bad sized chunk, huh? About something like you'd want in fried rice. That's about all the cutting we got to do. I love putting this thing underneath of there. Just a cabinet liner. Just nothing slides around. And I have about a cup of peas and carrots. You know I love my frozen veggies. They pick them right at the peak season, you know. And we're going to use this guy probably today. All right, let's move on. All right, let's make us some stir fry. I'm going to do this a little bit different because we're going to use the basmati dried rice first. Alright, I got my pan fairly hot. You can see the oils in there are sizzling a little bit. I'm going to cook our eggs first because we don't want them to turn brown in all the sauces. So first we'll get those going. Let them fairly dry. Right. Okay, pan back on the stove. Get that sucker hot again. A little more oil. Not a whole lot. It's a non-stick pan. Let's get our chicken in there. Alright. There's an awful lot of chicken in it. This would be good for leftover chicken because you can take in leftover breast or cook it ahead of time. A little pinch more. Alright. Let that sizzle. Get that pan nice and hot so that it's going to have a chance to cook and it's not going to steam. If it sits there boiling, it's really not going to be like tasty. Look at that thing. You can put different stuff on this, season it up ahead of time. Do a little spice powder or something on there, some soy. Whatever you want to put on it. just going to do it plain now because we're going to have plenty of stuff in the pan. Just wanted to have it cooked pretty much all the way through. That's why it's good with leftovers. Let this stuff dry up really good. Better? Oh yeah. You would do it the pre-cooked, you put it in the oven. Bring it out about 165, or if it's left over from last night's dinner, even better. Leftover chicken, pork chops, shrimp is good in fried rice. You can do pork, shrimp, and chicken. House special, right? I'm not using bean sprouts in here because I don't have them. Alright. Feeling pretty firm. I'm using a wok. You can use pretty much any pan you want, especially with this method. I always say don't put your pan over medium. When you're making stuff like this, if you really want to sear it up, I got a nice thick pan here. That's pretty thick. So we're going to put that thing on high. You want to conduct that heat up the sides of this tall bowl. Okay, look at that, nice and browning up nicely. Chicken's cooked all the way through. I'm going to pull that up to the side. Alright, that chicken juice will burn up on you, so. Okay, let that pan sit for a couple seconds to get the heat back. Another little light touch of oil, not a whole lot. Let's get that garlic and that ginger in there. As I said before, garlic will burn fast. Ginger not as fast. That garlic, you just want to keep an eye on it. Get in that pan, let it going. You can smell the aromatics going. So we're going to get some onions going in here, so we might as well just get the oil in now. I'm using about a tablespoon total of oil. And Chinese cooking isn't fat-free, that's for damn sure. Okay, see that garlic starting to brown up real good there in the corner? You want to get it before it burns, because when it burns it's just too late. And then we'll get your onions in there. Onions will cool down your pan a lot. We got this nice wok spatula. I don't know why I'm not using it. Right now the onions are releasing their juices, which is good, but the garlic is still cooking. That's why we stopped before it was completely cooked, because it's still getting brown in there. So with the onions releasing their juices, so you end up with a little bit less dryness in the pan. I'm going to throw some salt in there. salt will pull the water out of everything. They put it in cabbage, soak it overnight. The cabbage and all the water comes out. That's how they press that stuff. That's how they cure things too, with salt. So that's looking good. Onions are starting to caramelize nicely. This is going to go pretty fast this way. Using our leftover chicken, supposedly, right? And this is going to be with basmati rice, white rice, leftover. It's nice and dry. Brown rice is wet, and it's not really good for getting stir fries and stuff, as you noticed. Came out a little soggy. Okay, it's browning up really nice, beautifully. Don't want to go too far with that. So, let's get our chicken back in there. Pan's nice and hot. Gonna get our rice in there. Alright. You can tell already the difference. That brown rice just kind of held all the moisture. I guess I could have laid it out and dried it in the oven a little bit, but this is kind of really nice. It's separating nicely. Each grain is going in between something else. And we're just trying to get this hot. That's all we're doing. How are we looking here? Nice, huh? Isn't that pretty? Can smell the ginger cooking. Alright, so what we're going to do now, you gotta let these peas and carrots cook a little bit. Leftover would be perfect. Okay, no water down in the bottom. Gotta give them a minute to cook. So, get them down flat. They're not gonna do any good on top of the rice. I'm kind of sauteing them a little bit. The rice is drying up. The chicken liquid that's left in there is drying up. Didn't forget about the onions, those are going in a minute. If you wanted it a little bit yellow, you could put a little turmeric in there. Turmeric really don't have a whole lot of flavor. It's a good yellow coloring. If you use enough of it, you're going to get a flavor. It's kind of got an off-putting flavor, I think. It's more used in Indian food. Peas are there, nice. I'm using everything's room temperature here too, so you don't have to wait for things to cool down, to warm up before they start to cook. Alright, we're going to be using a little bit of fish sauce, a little sesame oil, some soy sauce, some oyster sauce, and some hot chili oil, because I like that hot chili oil. Alright, now we're going to a little bit of salt. I'm like using that pink Himalayan salt. I like that. Oops, not supposed to hide that. It's pretty good. I like that stuff. Alright, those peas and carrots down there. Let's give them a little toss. If they were cooked, you can just throw that right in there. It'll be good. Those are frozen peas and carrots because I like them. And you don't have to have a full can open. Reach in there and grab a handful of those. Okay, look at that. It's nice and soft now. Yeah, they're softening up nicely. Okay, meanwhile, the rice is drying out. Chicken liquids are drying out. Nice. See how loose that is? A lot better than the brown rice, definitely. This will work great in a frying pan, a regular round frying pan. It's got to be big though, because you don't want to crowd it. It'll just kind of sit there and look at you. Alright, let that go just for another second. They use them woks in the kitchens, the big ones. They got these foot pedals they step on, and everything just gets like super heated, you know, 50,000, 500,000 BTUs, I don't know what numbers they are. BTU is a measurement of how much heat's coming out. It's called the British Thermal Unit, BTU. They got some cool stuff over there. Alright, so, look at that, nice and loose, very fried ricey. Okay, gonna hit it with a couple shots of that fish sauce. Fish sauce will get out of hand fast. Just a little taste of that sesame oil. Just a little taste of that hot oil. Some of this oyster sauce, probably about a teaspoon in here. Oh yeah. And the soy sauce, that's the main flavor. We'll give that a little more than a teaspoon, probably close to a tablespoon. Oh yeah, that came out nice, huh? Okay, now that that's got there, nice and hot, absorbed all your flavors, get a chance to cook in a little bit. I'm going to let that go. Nice and loose. The way fried rice should be. Carrot's good. Got a little bite. Oh, that made a mess, didn't it? Alright, now we're going to take our eggs. Then your little spot up right there for our cooked eggs in there. Chop them up real good. Green onions. Look at that. Chicken fried rice, huh? What a mess I made there. I kept that on high the whole time too. Girls are calling. Let that cook for about 2 seconds. Actually, that was you that was calling. And that's why I didn't answer the phone. Okay. There we go. Now special fried rice. Or chicken fried rice, sorry. I'm going to put this whole thing on here. I'm not going to eat all that. I mean, come on. I'm hungry and all, but turn this off. Alright, would you look at that, huh? That's beautiful.